Hi everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to dive into the voice of customer and the voice of the market, two powerful drivers of quality, innovation, and competitive advantage. Whether you've ordered food on DoorDash, left a product review on Amazon, or noticed how one store always seems a step ahead of its competitors, you've already experienced those concepts in action. Here's our agenda for today. First, we'll focus on the voice of the customer, which is all about understanding and responding to individual customer needs. Then we'll explore the voice of market, which zooms out to look at the big trends, competitors, and industry standards. Finally, we'll wrap things up with key takeaways that connect those two voices together. Voice of the customer means listening carefully to what the customer expects, what they like, and what frustrates them. Customers are not just paying customers. They can be internal, like co-workers who depend on your work. And the ultimate goal here is to figure out what makes people satisfied and what causes dissatisfaction. Think about time you got your coffee exactly the way you like it versus the time your order was messed up. It makes all the difference in whether you will go back. Customer Relation Management, or called CRM, is the strategy organizations use to manage interaction with customers. This could be through handling complaints, collecting feedback, offering guarantees, or track customers' history. Ever notice how Spotify remember your playlist or Amazon suggests items based on what you bought before? That's CRM at work, designed to build loyalty and improve your experience. Customer-driven quality is a proactive approach to satisfy customer needs and preferences by gathering data throughout the production and delivery process. Which means companies are not just reacting when something goes wrong. They are proactively trying to understand and meet your need. Think of how Apple designed their new iPhones, not just fixing all the problems, but anticipating what feature people want to have next on their next new phone. It's all about creating value and constantly improving based on what customers are saying and doing. Here is the tricky part. Customers have different expectations. They hold a diverse view of the service provider. So as a company, you have to manage various expectations. So one bad experience, like waiting too long at the drive-through, can make you not want to come again next time. Research shows it's much more expensive for business to win new customers than to keep the ones you already have. That's why companies use tools like gap analysis to compare what customers expect versus what they are actually delivering. Complaints are not always bad news. In fact, they are opportunities. If a restaurant messes up your order but fixes it quickly, maybe even giving you a free dessert, you might walk away happier than if nothing had gone wrong. Organizations use structured processes to handle complaints because turning around a negative situation can actually build a stronger loyalty. Feedback comes in many forms. Sometimes you are asked directly through surveys. Other times you just leave a Google review on your own. Guarantees are another powerful tool. Think about the Domino's old 30 minutes or it's free guarantee. When done right, guarantees show commitment, reduce customer risk, and build trust. Now let's talk about service quality model, often shortened to CIRCLE model, which outline 5 common gaps in service quality. For example, Management might think customers want faster service, but customers actually care more about accuracy. That's gap 1. Or a company might promise one thing in advertising but deliver something else. That's gap 4. These gaps help business pinpoint where things break down between expectation and reality. Sometimes organizations go out and ask for feedback. This might be through surveys, phone calls, or focus groups. Have you ever gotten an email after visiting a store that says, "Tell us how we did today"? That's solicited feedback. The key is to make sure that survey is well designed so results are valid and reliable. On other times, feedback just shows up without being asked. Customers post a review on Yelp, tweak their complaints on X, or leaving comments on YouTube. Those unsolicited insights are powerful because they are often more honest and immediate. Think about how you check reviews before buying something online. That's the voice of customer in action, influencing your choices. Finally, let's talk about retention and loyalty. Retention means customers come back. Loyalty goes even further. It means they keep coming back and we're not dreaming of switching. Think about your favorite coffee shop or streaming service. Even if a new option pops up, you stick with the one you trust. That's a gold standard of the customer relationship. While the voice of customer focuses on individuals, the voice of the market looks at the big picture, industry trends, competitors, and new innovations. Companies often use benchmarking to compare themselves against the best in the industry. For example, a local coffee shop might study how Starbucks manage drive-through efficiency to improve their own operation. Kinds of benchmarking, such as process benchmarking, which is compare operational processes with other organizations. Financial benchmarking is to analyze financial performance ratio against competitors. And product benchmarking is to compare product attributes and functionalities. Function benchmarking means comparing specific functions such as HR, IT across different industries. Strategic benchmarking means to examine broad strategies and competitive positions. And also the last one is the initiator firm versus target firm. The organization initiating the study versus the one being compared against. For example, a college might compare graduation rates to other schools. That's benchmarking too. So the idea here is to learn from others and see where you stand. KBF, which stands for Key Business Factors. So when benchmarking, organizations focus on key business factors, which is the critical things that make or break success. For example, in fast food industry, speed, accuracy, and consistency are KBFs. In education, it might be the student satisfaction, retention rate, and affordability. The benchmarking process involves clear steps. So first step is to decide what to benchmark, identify the specific process or outcome for comparison, and then identify who to benchmark. Select leading competitors or best-in-class organizations. And the step 3 is to plan and conduct investigation, gather data on performance from target firms, and then determine current performance gap, analyze difference between own performance and the benchmark data. And the 5th step is to set ambitious but yet achievable improvement target. And the step 6 to 10 is to communicate finding, develop an action plan, implement, monitor, and recalibrate. So it involves a lot of steps. And just imagine you are comparing your GPA to a classmate who is doing very well, and you figure out what they are doing differently, such as studying habit, time management, and then you try to apply those strategies by yourself. So that's the general benchmarking process. One of the benchmarking example used in our textbook is the Pell's Southern Service. It's a regional fast food chain. They are legendary for their discipline, training, and consistency. By studying and refining their processes, they have achieved some of the highest customer satisfaction and quality score in the industry. Benchmarking often uses metrics like the financial ratios, productivity levels, customer results, and market share. For example, measuring scrap efficiency tells a factory how much material is wasted, and total factor productivity compares outputs against all inputs. The point here is to use data, not just guesses, to see how you measure up. Another part of the voice of a market is the segmentation, which means divide customer into groups. Think about how Netflix recommends different shows to you via your parents. That's a segmentation. Customers often collect market data from industry groups, online research, or even supplier partnership to better understand who they are serving. Of course, benchmarking has to be ethical. That means no stealing trade secrets, no misrepresentation, no shady data collection. It's about learning from the best while respecting boundaries. So we have, as a company, they have to ensure fair, transparent, and mutual beneficial data exchange without compromising competitive integrity. The benefits of benchmarking are huge. Better performance, more innovation by the discovery of the new processes and products, and enable organizations to outperform rivals by adopting superior methods or strategies, and provide data-driven insights for well-informed planning and resource allocation. And last but not least, drives our ongoing commitment to excellence and efficiency within the organization. However, it is not always easy to do the benchmarking. Benchmarking can be complex, hard to coordinate, and sometimes people inside the organization resist change. Plus, getting accurate, comparable data can also be tricky. Overcoming these challenges takes clear goals, strong leadership, and good communication. Now we arrive at the last slide of this lecture, the summary slide. So the voice of the customer focuses on deep understanding of customer needs, expectations, and feedback through tools like CRM, complaint handling, and surveys. The outcome here is to achieve high service quality, ensuring customer satisfaction, and building lasting loyalty. The voice of market focuses on strategic insights from the broader marketplace, including competitors and best practice, primarily through the benchmarking. So the goal here is to drive competitive advantage, foster innovation, and promote continuous organizational improvement. So integrating VOC and VOM provides a holistic view for data-driven strategic decisions, enabling organizations to achieve and sustain high quality and success in a dynamic business environment. And that's the end for this lecture. Thank you.